I just had a conversation with the woman, and it ended with her calling me ungrateful, and I had to remind her that some women are not willing to accept what she's willing to accept. We were talking about your partner getting you gifts or doing things for you, like acts of service, things like that. I said I would rather you not do things for me if you're not going to do the things that I like or get me things that I like. For example, if I read books and you know I like romance and I don't like scary stuff, why would you buy me a thriller book and then expect me to be happy about it? Or if you've always seen me get pink flowers for myself, I always have a bouquet of pink flowers in my home. You know I don't like the color yellow. Why would you then go get yellow flowers and you ain't never seen me with no yellow flowers? And she was like, well, it's the thought that count. And I said, absolutely not, because I feel like that was made up by a manipulative person to get you to endure or just accept what you're willing to accept. And I'm not at the age where I'm doing games with any type of man or anybody in my life. Absolutely not. I don't have to prove anything to you. And it really blows my mind that people will say get you flowers that they know that you don't really like and then get mad at your response because you don't like them and be like, oh, you're just being ungrateful. No, I don't have to accept that. And honestly, I can get somebody that's going to get me the pink flowers that I like. I don't have to do this with you. And it ended with her being like, well, I would have just been happy that he got me flowers. And I said, and this is why you always get called a pushover. Now I'm the bad guy.
I actually thought this was a really, really crazy story and really dope, actually, if you think about it, because if you listen to the two perspectives, the young lady talking versus the person she was having a conversation with, neither of them is really wrong. But again, it has everything to do with your priorities and your perspectives. Now, the first lady, it sounds like her priority is getting what she likes. And so, because her priority is getting what she likes, it will always be a conflict if someone tries to get her something or do something for her and it's not on her I like this list. You see what I'm saying? Versus the second lady, who sounds like her priority is allowing the other person to bring an experience into her life and just enjoying them for their contribution as a person. So that's why she can be just grateful for the flowers instead of being upset over it not being her preference of flower. You see what I'm saying? But I would say in my opinion, I stand more with the second lady, because relationships are about an array of experiences. You will bring something to the relationship as far as what you like, what you don't like, what you enjoy, your hobbies, and so on and so forth. But your partner has that element to the relationship as well. They have their likes, they have their interests, they have their hobbies. So even though you may hear that a person likes pink flowers, you may not feel obligated to get them pink flowers every single time you think to get them flowers, because you have your own interests in flowers as well, and you may want to introduce them to some flowers that you like, and you may be able to broaden their horizons and introduce some other variations of flowers, so now they can add a liking of a different flower to their repertoire. Like she said, I like to read books, but I like romance books, and you would get me a thriller. Now, what if you met someone who reads books as well, but they have a different type of genre of book that they like to read, and maybe they thought that that particular book wasn't as gory, since you guys might have had a conversation about what in particular you may not like about scary type novels, and that one is a suggestion that they would like to share, so you can so you can kind of get a taste of what they like to read. You see what I'm saying? So I understand the perspective of the first lady. Unfortunately, it comes off a tremendously spoiled to me, and it sounds like you're in a relationship and you want it to be all about you. Just because you said you like this, just because you said this is what you prefer, just because this is your favorite thing, that means that whenever they think of that thing, they have to get it in that color, and that all the details that you like, and they're not allowed to put a spin on it. Like, think of it this way. You know, you have a list of foods that you like and a list of foods that you cannot stand, but you end up getting with somebody who's a phenomenal cook. And this person, you tell them, oh my gosh, I hate onions. And they're like, you hate onions? Let me show you something. And they make this dish with an abundance of onions in it and ask you to try it. The first lady is going to say no because I told you I don't like onions and you put onions in it anyway. So, you know, you're trying to manipulate me into liking something that I don't like. Versus the second lady would try the dish, and then if she tried it and still thought that the onions were an issue, she'd have that conversation. Versus if she tried the dish, thought it was phenomenal, and then learned something about herself. Like, you know what? I now don't think it was the fact that I didn't like onions. I just don't like raw onions. The fact that they're sauteed, this is amazing. Oh my goodness. She finds out now that she likes onions. But if you're the type of person to be fixated on just your wants and your likes, and you can care less about what your partner brings to the relationship, what basically you're saying is, I'm going to, if there is a leaving this relationship, I'm going to leave this relationship exactly as the same person that I came in, because this person is not going to be allowed to a sense evolve me at all with their own experiences and their own pieces of knowledge that they can incorporate into my life. This is not a wrong way to be, but it does limit your experiences, and it would cause a real stagnant and, you know, not boring, but a relationship that's has a little bit of bent up tension in it, because you will create a lot of different experiences for your partner. Like, you know, she always wants everything her way. I can't just be spontaneous with her. I can't just show her my personality without factoring in what she wants in it all. And a person may feel like they're not allowed to be themselves with you because they always have to weigh in what you want, and the fact that if they don't want to go with your want in the situation, they might as well expect for you to express upset and to feel manipulated if you don't listen to what she wants at the time, you know. And a lot more people, and I think a lot of men would say they would prefer to go with the second woman because she's more adaptable, she's more flexible, and she's understanding that the relationship is not 100% about her. And it's not, because as of getting into a relationship, it's about the team, it's about the unit, it's about the partnership. And I think that, again, that neither perspective is wrong, but one has a greater success of having a positive and harmonic and long time relationship versus the other one. It will be happy for a little while until they realize that they're kind of holding a place for just giving her what she wants. And it kind of carries the perspective of someone who's outrageously spoiled and has not taken any consideration of the other person in the relationship at all. But you guys, let me know what you think. Maybe I have it wrong. Again, I don't think either perspective as to how you handle relationships is wrong, but I do think that the second lady has a greater chance of having a harmonious relationship than the first. I also believe that it sounds very entitled, and as far as the first lady is concerned, and I also feel as though she's inconsiderate of her partner. Not only that, but to say that it goes as far as being manipulative to even think that they can expand your experience any further than what you've already experienced is kind of, you know, it sounds more, maybe she's been hurt before and she's just controlling the situation so she doesn't fall victim. I'm not sure. But let me know in the comments. And fellas, who would be your preference as to who you would date? Someone that knows exactly what she wants, or the one that's a little more flexible? Peace.